Hi everybody, welcome to the Waldock Way. I'm Jessica. Today's video is going to be a look inside the Who Was George Washington mini unit study. This is going to give you an idea what all of my Who Was mini unit studies look like because they are all set up in a very similar fashion. These unit studies are great for the entire family, elementary up through high school. There is something in there for everybody. I love that the whole family can learn together. Now, the Who Was books are directed for about grade 2nd and up. We started reading them aloud when Emily was about 5 years old. So if you want to read them aloud, they're great for about 5 and up. If you want your children to read them independently, they're great for about 8 and up. All right, you guys, if you are familiar with any of the Waldock Way curriculum, this page looks familiar to you. This is the way all of my unit studies look. I try to make them look very uniform so that if you've used one of my curriculums, you know kind of what you're getting with any of them. They all have a very similar layout and they all include very similar things. So they almost all have a book list. I mean, all of the Who Was units have a book list, but almost all of the Waldock Way, it looks like this. All of the Who Was units are going to include a book list. The book list includes anywhere from 3 to 7 books. It gives you plenty of books to read to get to know them better. They also include a YouTube playlist already curated, watched, and picked for you, as well as a Pinterest board that has things that have already been picked for you. That's where you're going to find all of your crafts. So if you have a child who loves YouTube and hates crafts, that's okay. You can just do this. You can either click the link because it's clickable, or you can use your phone and scan, or your tablet and scan the QR code and be taken directly there. Same thing with Pinterest, clickable link or scannable code. Everything you see on this page is clickable. All of the books in the book list are clickable. It will take you directly to Amazon, so there is no question about what book I'm talking about. All of the shows and videos are clickable, so you will know exactly what show or video I am recommending, as well as the games. So you are going to get everything at your fingertips as easy as possible. I also include additional resource suggestions. So those are things like activity books or just links for further research. So here there is a link for George Washington's time at the White House, the Washington Monument, and Mount Vernon so that you can learn more about those things. So this is your main kind of core of your unit study. It's going to give you all of the books you're going to read, your YouTube playlist, your Pinterest board, the shows to watch, the games to play, and any additional resources. There is no actual lesson plans, and I say that because I don't want you to feel behind. I don't want you to feel like you're failing. I want you to feel like you can go at whatever speed you want. If you want to do a George Washington unit study in one day, then do it. If you want it to last a month, then that is fine too. Here is all the resources, here is all the printables. You do it at whatever speed is right for you and your family. There is a hand-drawn original piece of artwork for coloring. My husband he draws these for each unit. So this is something you're not going to find anywhere else. They're all super unique and they try to tell the entire story of that person's life. So you can see like the war, the flag, him as a president. It kind of tells the whole story here. There is copywork in 3 different levels. This would be the tracing copywork for your youngest. Then you have print copywork for your child that's a little bit older, and cursive copywork for your oldest children. There is a biography of George Washington page. There will be a biography of whoever's page. You will draw a picture, or their children will draw a picture of them. They will fill in their name, their date of birth, their date of death, and write whatever they're known for. Now, my daughter is 7 and in 2nd grade, so I require her to write a full sentence here. If you had maybe a 5-year-old, maybe you just have them write a word, so they would just write president. If you have somebody who's in middle school, I would require them probably to write a full paragraph. So that is what is so great, and that's why all of your kids can learn together, because you can vary it based off of what level they're at. Every unit also includes map work. The map work does change with each one because you are mapping the life of that person. At the bottom, I give you dates and places, kind of like where they were and what they did, and you put it on the map. For George Washington, you're going to be mapping within the United States. Some of the other units you are mapping through the world. So it just depends on what they did in their life, how your map will look. Each unit study does include an activity page, and those activity pages vary depending on what the person did and what fun activity I can come up with. For George Washington, it talks about how upon his death, Congress began brainstorming and building the Washington Monument. Here you draw the Washington Monument, and then you're going to construct the Washington Monument with any medium of your choice. So Legos, blocks, Play-Doh, whatever you choose, you're going to draw it and then you're going to build it. For older children, I would have them probably go to that link that I included and do a little bit more research first. For my daughter, I just showed her a picture. Every unit study also includes a Venn diagram where your children will compare and contrast themselves to the historical figure. So here they will be comparing and contrasting themselves to George Washington. Every unit also includes a blank timeline so that they can fill it in. There is also timeline cards that they can use for reference that are in here that you'll see in just a moment. So they can either use that for reference, or you can have them do the research on their own so that they're researching and putting those dates in. Again, depending on the age of your children. Every unit study includes the trivia card game. Now what I do for the card game and the timeline, which I will show you in a moment, is I print them on Astro Bright cardstock and then cut them out. That way it's kind of fun and it's a little bit more sturdy. I don't really find that it needs to be laminated because we're not using it like in a heavy kind of way, but that's up to you. So the trivia cards list a question and an answer. All of the questions are something that has been taken directly out of the Who Was book. So it is not going to be something that you would have had to read all the books for. As long as you read the Who Was books, these questions are taken directly from that book. So it gives you a question and an answer. And the way we play is kind of like Professor Noggin. So I ask a question, then she asks a question. If we get it right, we get to keep the card. If we get it wrong, we don't. And whoever has the most cards at the end wins. There's always 20 trivia cards included. And then the last thing included is that timeline matching game I was talking about. So there are cards that list all of the different dates and all of the different things kind of like that was done throughout their life. And you can just print these like I did and cut them out here, or you can print them on the Astro Brights like I was talking about, which is here. They're a little bit brighter, a little bit sturdier. So I print them on Astro Brights, and then we use them one of two ways. Either I put them all down, kind of like the dates like this on the floor, and then I have her go and put like, oh, he was born, he moved to Mount Vernon, his brother died. So what it does is it ends up creating a life-size timeline, or we will play memory with them. So we will take all of them and turn them upside down on the table, and then we just take turns flipping them. And then so like if the date and the activity match, so in 1732 he was born, then you made a match, and that's how we play. So you can use these many different ways. We love that there's two game kind of things involved. That's some of the things we love to do in our homeschool. So that makes it really fun. There is also, like I said, something for everybody. You're gonna have videos, you're gonna have books, you're gonna have games, you're gonna have shows to watch, and you're gonna have things that you can research and discuss together as a family.